Hello, my fellow human. Welcome back to another Dank Doggo. Today, I duck it up. So, our ridiculous moments for today is from u/a macrum, with the title of Tifu by crop dusting a cave and accidentally activating a Karen. Obligatory, this didn't happen today. It happened about 23 years ago, but it was my first traumatic cringe. I was 12. Picture what it would like if Wednesday Addams was really genuinely dying to get into the Babysitters Club. Yep, that's me, having my second period ever, complete with Satan's the tsunami of pain and duckery happening to my insides. My family decided this is when we're going to visit Mammoth Cave National Park. I'm still in that stage when I'm embarrassed by my period, sure that everyone everywhere just knows. It's Shark Week for me. We're traveling light by my parents' insistence, so when I need a pad, it's off to hassle Dad to dig one out of his fanny pack and make the mortified trek to the bathroom. That's its own tween trauma. We are taking a cave tour, and in one of those really tight places with a horrible name like a fat man's death, and all hell is brewing in my gut. Audible growling like hellhounds, begging to be freed, loud enough for the people next to me get that shifty-eyed WTF look. At the time, I'm 4'11", maybe 100 pounds, and all that stands between the world and the nuclear bomb in my gut is the clench. I clench, you guys. I clench through so much of the longest cave system in the world. Google it. And I just couldn't ducking do it anymore. I fell victim to the oldest myth we tell ourselves. Just let a little out. Just a little. And I'll feel so much better. So I did. And I didn't. I cracked the door, but all the demons escaped. What came out was the most inexplicably silent fart, accompanied by the most rancid smell I've ever smelled. The kind that immediately makes you think it couldn't possibly have come from your own body or any living body. Immediately, there was shuffling as it hit the polite people around me, and they tried to avoid overly embarrassing the green-skinned little girl with the demon gut it had to have come from. This is where my mother comes into play. There's one thing you must know about my mother. Her name is Karen. Legend has it she's the original. If I had a dime for every manager spoken to, while her family sat red-faced, pleadingly apologizing with their eyes, blinked twice for help, I would be scourge duck rich. So here we are, stewing in the rancid hellfire corpse level stank, and my mother asks the poor teenage tour guide, who is trying not to gag, "Are there sulfur deposits down here? I smell sulfur." Silence. A few discreet glances at the miserable little girl from the polite strangers. "No, ma'am, no sulfur in this part of the cave system." My mother's never wrong, not even when she's wrong. She insists, "That can't be right. I smell sulfur." "No, ma'am, no sulfur." If there was a manager nearby, we'd have already been speaking to them. She's getting very upset because she's obviously right. She obviously smells sulfur, and this ridiculous teenager doesn't know what the hell he's talking about. The back and forth goes on. Forever. Her insistence that she's right keeps ratcheting up. That poor guy. To his credit, he glanced at me and did the kindest thing that kept me from just completely shriveling up and dying on the spot. He plastered a quizzy grin on his face and said, "You know what, ma'am? Maybe there's sulfur down here. I'm going to double check on that as soon as we get back. Maybe I'll learn something new today." The cringe was so full on. I don't remember anything else about that day. It's a blank. On that fateful day, I learned never to trust a fart. That cringe, that deep in early tweens lives a little scar tissue on your soul, and that the kindness of stranger is a very real thing. TLDR, let out hellacious silent fart in a confined space in a cave system, prompting the original Karen to demand poor teenage tour guide get up to date on his knowledge of sulfur deposits. Oh man, OP writes the story so well. The shorter version of the TLDR was just that 12 years old farted in a cave. That's it. But OP made it so interesting, thrilling, and cringe very hard, yet quite comedy at the same time. I absolutely love the metaphorical writing style of OP. Helps you imagine the whole situation easier, like in her perspective. I wonder if the tour guide actually knew OP farted and wanted to, pretend to check to see whether if there was any sulfur down there so that he can get away from that horrendous smell. I don't think he was being kind, but rather just want to escape. Or maybe he was truly curious, that's all. And now for the comments. We have the first comment by u/RJ4001. Farting in a cave is like ultimate Dutch oven. Everybody just trapped in there with it. User Home Brand Soap replied that, my friend has a story from when he was on a tour bus in Morocco and someone let out a quiet but deadly fart. The tour guide stopped mid-sentence and said with a very strong accent, "Ah, silent but violent." It's actually very true. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I've read somewhere that said the farts with the minimal noises are actually the worst kind. It's better to have loud ones. U/Geared for War added, I dropped one at a warehouse meeting, and the boss took one whiff and screamed. That deserves a name. Meanwhile, u/Naked Without My Hoodie shared that my brother named his particularly offensive farts. He'll say, "Ugh, get out of here, Leonard," and turn in the full circle. He calls this twisting it off. He makes me laugh every time he comes up with a new way to announce his farts. Username Melin the Orchidork said, when our daughter was a toddler, my husband used to say, "Catch that when painted green," after a fart. Kids repeat everything, and she repeated the phrase in her daycare after she tooted. It was an awkwardly funny moment when I picked her up and had to answer the question, what does catch that and painted green mean? U/Naked Without My Hoodie replied, oh man, I would have paid $1 to watch you explain that one. I have kids, I feel your pain. U/HollyB159 said, my mom would just snicker and whisper, was that you? But just barely loud enough that a few people nearby would hear it and give me side eye while my face turned the shade of the inside of a freshly cut blood orange. The OP said, mine was of the ladies don't fart, they pass gas. The only in the bathroom on the third Thursday of a blue moon in an underground bunker in Siberia for plausible deniability type. Lol. U/HollyB159 for that. Lol. I recently let one rip in front of my young son. He said in a surprised tone, I didn't know girls farted. Young man got educated that day. The OP further added, right? I had sons, and then I had to undo all that repression, so I could hold my own with them. Lol. U/We Spell Trouble said, thank you for the lols. I am also the daughter of a Karen, and have unleashed the balls of hell unsuspecting crowds. So this is very relatable. U/PDXPDY gave their thoughts. Purite farts are the worst, rancid and so painful on both the gut and nose. Once I went on a first date to a rock concert, I let the clench loosen a bit. Bad move. I cleared the 5th radius of a mosh pit. People made faces and comments and everything. There was no second date. The OP said, You cleared a mosh pit with fart. That, my dear woman, is the superpower. That's it for today, fellow humans. Thanks for watching. Dank Doggo appreciates your time. If you enjoy our content and want to see more of us, stay tuned and subscribe. There are plenty more videos from various r/slashes across Reddit. Don't forget to smash that like button or Doggo will cry. Also, you can always tell us your Doggo comrades, your experiences in the comment section. I will catch up with you guys later in the next video.